Sorry, people. My computer system. Wonder if my motherboard is having issues because we had that hiccup yesterday, and today it just crashed on me again. It just literally shut down. Maybe it's the singing. It could be the singing that we're doing that the system just says, "Oh hell no!" That must be what it is. That the computer system is just not gonna handle it. And let's see if Brother Roz crashed on me. Don't know why. I don't know why. There's no sun up in the sky. Stormy weather. Well, my computer screen, one of the screens just said, we got to restart the computer. We're collecting data now, and it went out. Yeah, that was, I hope I get everybody back. I don't know. It was just weird. This was like last night. It was like I mentioned giving Jerry Jones credit, and all of a sudden the help shut down on me. So I may need to get my motherboard checked out on here to make sure that it's okay. Maybe get it replaced. All right, so Angelica Barone. We're going to start this over again. I'm back. It's Angelica Barone is back. Looks like you got hacked. No, well, it just, the computer system just went. It's been acting kind of funny lately, so I probably need to get the system checked out. Did you say something wrong? Laugh out loud. We back. And right now, the Bears, excuse me, the Bears seem to be actually having the momentum early on. We're encouraged with the process that is there, if not on the statistics on paper all the time, but he's getting better in a lot of different areas. Justin Field. Well, this is what you get from broke-ass media. So forgive me. I don't know what happened. The system just crashed on me. Interesting take today. And Brother Roz, as always, corrects me and lets me know there's more to it than what meets the eye. But right now, Carson Wentz is probably in the middle of a quarterback controversy. Carson Wentz, who his contract, basically depending on how much he plays, will dictate how much draft capital goes. Since he's missing the next 4 to 6 weeks, and you got Tyler Heineke, I'm not sure that Washington deems Carson Wentz as the franchise quarterback that they covet and need going forward, and it may be advantageous to shut him down and give up less than they have to for him. Too much trash. Oh, damn, Angelica. Too much trash music, toilet music. Oh, are we talking about mine? Okay, I got it. Justin Fields trying to make a run here. Oh, nice pass. Uh-oh. Is this the return of Justin Fields? First down on, what, the 30-yard line? So you've got that dynamic. Then you also have the dynamic of the Colts with Matty Ice, who they're basically shutting him down. They've seen enough of him, and that may be the same situation as well. Wentz is a bum. We've been saying that for years. I mean, remember when Colin Cowherd kept toting, how good Carson Wentz is. In fact, even this offseason, people kept talking about, Carson Wentz now, he's got Scary Terry and weapons and everything else. He's going to be good. It's like, yeah. Justin Fields is looking like a good quarterback right now. Am I wrong on this? Oh, the commodes. Okay, I got you. All that music overloaded the system. Picked up from New York Jets to Jax, becomes fifth if he runs for 250 yards. Okay. Justin Fields. Don't tell me they're going to go up 10-0 on New England. They're in the red zone now, 19-yard line. Justin Fields runs, and he gets down to the 11-yard line here. What's up, Campbell? How are you doing? Mark, you remember when everybody was saying trade Dak Prescott? Oh, my God. Remember just recently everybody was saying we should be trading for Russell Wilson? We can't sleep on these Bears next Sunday. No, actually we can't. Now, they will have a shorter week because they're playing tonight. But we've got another, I hate it. Another 12 o'clock kickoff. I hate early games for Cowboys. Fields got skills, or is it New England's just not a good team? Montgomery, wow. Now, that was some serious yards after contact because you thought that he wasn't going to get the first down. He squeezes through there and picks up 8 yards total. First and goal on the 2. Richie, no. Odell Beckham is not going to be a Dallas Cowboy, and I do not want him to be a Dallas Cowboys. No, don't need him. Don't want him. Don't need him. I get it. The Rams did great things with him and stuff, but still. The amount of money that he's going to cost, no. And the baggage, no. And he's not ready to play right now. There's Primetime. What's up, Primetime? And Justin Fields, touchdown. The Bears are up 9-0. Can you believe that shit?
I'm gonna play away, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're just ruining that Bears football for me, man.
Okay. Oh, I thought I ruined your ears with the rendition of Return of the Dak.
Oh man, that was something. At least it was.
That was something.
It was better.
that was something, to say the least.
Commanders one is what makes my face red and just like.
Oh, yeah. You look like you're really hurting when you hear that. But hey, I figured, well, if the Commanders could do one and they're losing and shit, well, I can at least do one. At least we got some wins to go with it. And if you can't laugh at yourself, what are we doing? We are watching the Bears.
No, you just said I'll do one.
You didn't see the Dak is back?
I saw a little bit of it. I gotta watch it when I'm done.
No, you don't need to watch it.
I saw the Dak cat, and I saw you break it down.
I was gonna
put
do
some
that,
lyrics out there.
Living my life.
Yeah, I think you could probably live without it in my computer system. I'm hoping that I'm not.
Yeah, I did see the crash, and then I was panicking because I saw somebody said they saw you that you weren't breathing right or something. I'm
like, jeez, no. It was
like you have labored breathing. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! And I'm texting Phil. He's not getting back to me.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Well, no, the computer just and I guess I was probably looking at the screen saying like, what the fuck's going on here? I hope that my motherboard's not going on the computer. It did die about a year ago, but the good thing is with Dell, I did get the extended warranty. They came out like in 3 days and put a new motherboard at my house. So maybe I need to call them again and get some service done on it. But I'm sitting here watching the Bears. Yeah, Justin Fields is looking like an NFL quarterback right now.
Well, they're rolling him out, getting him in motion and stuff. He looks, I mean, they. What you're seeing here is an offensive coordinator strategizing something and actually performing it and sticking to it. So I know you're not used to that offensive coordinator actually pulling these plays.
Saying that, but I was looking at Dak early on in that game, and man, he was just sitting in that pocket and waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, why are we doing that? Why are we doing that?
He's waiting for something to develop further.
Yeah, but that's not the kind of player he is. He's a better player when he's rolling on the move, creating.
Right now you can see his feet aren't comfortable in that pocket. He's kind of moving. The way he's moving, it's not right.
It was.
His feet.
Okay, I got a bone to pick. I really have a real bone. I'm glad I actually have you guys on here because I don't want to be talking to myself on this one. But, yesterday we got Dak Prescott coming back. And I know I get accused of being, you've got this crazy obsession with Dak Prescott. Whatever. I don't give a
you do.
Okay. But I think he's the best option we have. We had people who used to say, I'll take Jared Goff over Dak Prescott. I'll take Carson Wentz. We should trade for Carson Wentz. Get Nick Foles, let's trade for Russell Wilson. And I'm like, so you want to give up Micah Parsons and Diggs and CeeDee Lamb? Because that's what it would have cost to bring Russell Wilson here. So you bring him here, and you got nobody to go with it. So I'm going to say that Dak Prescott is a better option. Okay, you're only paying him money. You're not giving up draft picks. And that's where I look at Christian McCaffrey. Now, McCaffrey, I think he had about 70 yards yesterday for the team. Not bad to start out with. But I look at it and say, that's too damn much. I'm sorry. That's too much to give up for him.
a 2, 3, 4, and whatever else.
And a 5,
that's
right?
ridiculous, man.
So you're saying
for a running back. Everybody
okay,
breaks our
it made
stones,
sense for what the Rams did last year because they were saying we're going to win a Super Bowl right now, and that's why we went and got Von Miller and gave up a 3rd-round pick for him. We're going all in to try and win this thing right now. We'll worry about tomorrow. But Odell's not even ready to play yet. He's still rehabbing. Who's to say he's going to come back? 100%. I mean, how many damn times has he been injured?
We need more help on
but
the
be that as it may,
man.
I look at it and say there are some really good things that Dak Prescott can do. So all week everybody's been saying, when Dak comes back, he can learn from Cooper Rush. Just manage the game, don't take chances. He does that, and it's like, this is what we're paying $40 million for.
Well, he took chances, but I didn't like the play calling. That's
we never liked the play calling. but here we are.
I was going there, Mark. Just saying that I don't think they put him in a real good position.
Oh, I agree. But that's the problem of worrying about Kellen Moore, who looks at it and says, "Oh, now we can start going, doing all kinds of things that we weren't before." But be that as it may,
I know, man.
Dak,
that's what you're seeing.
207 yards, 1 TD pass. Oh, that was a garbage time, though. Oh, geez, here we go. That was a garbage time. 113 rating. There were 2 passes that could have been intercepted.
The
right?
TD wasn't garbage. I mean, they were leading.
That's what people are. Oh, no. That's comments that I'm getting from people. That was a garbage time TD.
Garbage touchdown when you're only up by 4? Yeah, okay, sure.
Those are just haters who are going to find anything.
But okay,
anything.
so here's the thing. So I'm listening to Acho and everything else. He's like, that's what we heard and talked about. 207 yards and 1 TD. Okay, how about this?
That's what the Cooper Rush has been doing.
That was exactly
for 5 weeks
and been praised like crazy. Yeah. How come
balls that should have been intercepted multiple weeks, multiple times in each game?
Yeah, there was definitely some questionable stuff. I mean, you can't say he's like a perfect game because obviously right when he got behind in the chains because of the what was it, block in the back or something like that.
We didn't see any of the 2 running back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We didn't see any of the 2 running back sets that I want to see. We didn't see much 12 personnel.
No, we didn't.
They started doing it, but not much. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the offense opened up more when he started to have that threat of running.
Brown should have caught that ball, by the way. Yeah, it was high, but it was on his hands. You got to catch the ball.
We had we had 19 completions out of 25. There were a couple of drops in there and the fumble. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing that's crazy to me.
Did you see a couple of the balls he put in there that were unbelievable?
Dropped
between 2 defenders.
Yeah, and dropped. But Dak's trash. But here's my thing though. So the Cowboys get a win with a quarterback who had hand surgery. They said 6 to 8 weeks. Got a plate in his hand. Only played 3 quarters all season. They get a win, and he's like the scum of the earth. How about Aaron Rodgers yesterday? Losing to the Commanders, 194 yards.
You'll hear about, the team around him isn't very good. That's what you'll hear. It's like, how
much did they kill us for drafting Tyler Smith? Right, letting go Lyle Collins and Connor Williams and getting rid of CeeDee Lamb. We've said Dak Prescott, and we've got a running back that's spent in Zeke Elliott.
He just got to get it quicker.
And so now we're saying we got all kinds of weapons,
right? Can't have. There you go. There's a bear getting carted off.
Okay, so here's another thought. Here.
I'm watching the Peyton Manning one. I'm watching Obama.
Yeah.
Here's another question here. Dalton Schultz is, definitely that leg is not there completely.
PCL, yeah.
I still think they should have sat him yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And send him, and try and get him healthy. But I think he wants to play because he's worried about the young guys behind him.
Yeah.
And this is where I still almost believe. I'm not going to say Hendershot and Ferguson are as good a pass catcher as Dalton Schultz, but with those 2 guys in there, the threat of them blocking in a running play, I think is better for the offense than it is for Dalton Schultz. You're not worried about a running play with Dalton Schultz.
I like them both in the game together.
Yeah,
because I'm with you, and I even thought McKeon and he's a good blocker. So Dalton. I think he's out, but like I was saying on our live, with Joe from Cowboys blog. I said, let's roll out. Let's finish the year. He needs to get. If he wants the money, he's going to have to play. Yeah, it's a win-win.
You want him to have a good year, even if you don't re-sign him because you want to get a compensatory pick.
Yeah.
I mean, if he blows up the rest of the year, then that's great. We can still bring him back if he wants to be here. I mean, if we want him here, he ain't going anywhere.
Right. Because you can franchise tag him and still have him at a good rate.
Right. It's like 13 mil.
Deal. It was just one of those things. It's just the play calling when you're bringing him in is just not knowing how to use him. So when you saw those pitches out there, you're having Schultz block. And, when you have
like
two
Mark
tight ends, you can put Schultz on the other side of that play, and then have a Hendershot and Ferguson on this side when they did that sweep, and you would not have had your weakest blocker at the tight end sitting there.
At the point of attack,
and obviously the guy that he had made the play. So it's like, it's just also situational.
I mean, give me CeeDee Lamb out there with two tight ends and two backs or something. You don't need, I don't need Nolan Brown on the field for every play. I don't,
Well, let me give a shout out to Eagles of America here because he's basically saying, Dak's floor right here is Cooper Rush's ceiling, and that's where I will say to people, listen, this is not what I expect to see in Dak, in 3 and 4 weeks from now as he gets comfortable playing with this new group of guys because this still is a new offense. He still has not been working with throwing the football to these guys for 6 weeks. So if he did this coming back off the hand, he's already ahead of where Russell Wilson was at this point last year. And that defense is unbelievable. But we definitely need to do better than what we're doing on offense.
How many TDs has Russell Wilson threw this year?
Russell Wilson? Oh, my God. I think him and Cooper Rush, I think, are tied.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say maybe even him and Dak are tied. Didn't really seem like they were doing too much through the air. It always seemed,
Russell Wilson has been bad this year. I mean, he
has.
He's got 5 TDs on the season and 3 interceptions. More than I thought. And an 83.4 rating. Basically, Russell Wilson and Cooper Rush are pretty much identical. But Russell Wilson has had more games.
Yeah, it's hard to get. I was saying to Brian in the first half when we kind of texted each other, I was like, it's hard to get your quarterback on like a rhythm when you're kind of leaning on him more as like the play caller, as your receiver, not catching those catching those balls. So it's like hard to get him kind of in a rhythm, and so some of the throws were behind as well too. So you kind of expect that.
But explain to me this one. Why is it we only had Michael Gallup with 2 targets? And we had Noah Brown with so many.
I know.
Yeah, you kind of wonder. Is it? I'd never really seen Dak as a person other than Schultz probably, but where he kind of like tries to pick a certain target as a wide receiver and hit him. He always tries to somewhat go for, reading some kind of play. I don't want to say he always goes for the open man because that hasn't been his thing lately. It always seems like he's kind of throwing it into double coverage with really good passes, but. It's sometimes I'm like, come on, man. That was like when he do that, there was one that he threw to CeeDee Lamb right off the side and he was like double covered and it was really no window. And, CeeDee makes that catch, but you kind of wonder if, better secondary, if that kind of goes the other way. So, I get kind of confused about some of his decision making, especially when he's trying to launch it downfield. So, that would come with time. He's been out for like 5 games and, didn't have the whole off season, didn't have preseason. It's just hasn't played football, man. He needs to start playing some football.
My thing is people are expecting to go, we should have 440 yards on this team.
Yeah, but they wanted him to be more like Cooper Rush. And guess what he was?
Mm-hmm.
He was more like Cooper Rush, So, I mean, he just had the ability to run a little bit. So it's kind of like you couldn't win for losing,
Well, here's where it's funny to me is that the Eagles fans are coming in. It's like, oh man, you barely beat them. It's like, okay, 24-6 versus 38-35.
It's one of those games too.
Did I miss something there?
Yeah, I feel like even when we won, it was like I still feel like we were getting our, getting our butts handed to us a little bit, and then defense just kind of like took over. And all of a sudden, all these turnovers, and I was saying to Brian in the broadcast that, Sam Williams, I was very impressed with the fact that he was able to pull have the situation to not just go for the sack because it was sitting there right there, but he decided to just grab the ball and just take it away. I was just like, wow, good on him, man. That was a great job.
Joseph Heatherly, it's 65 in Tucson today. Man, okay, that's like, cold for that area. Well, turnovers are key. The Cowboys are second in turnover ratio with 6 on the season. What's amazing is the Eagles are plus 12. You can look at anything else that you want to. That's a key statistic where the Eagles are not turning over the ball and they're getting takeaways, and you can point to that as one of the big reasons why they're winning. I mean, that's just insane. 12 plus 12 plus 6 is not bad. I mean, we're basically getting, one more takeaway a game than we're giving up, which is good. You like that. But 12 in 6 games? That's insane. So that helped our numbers with getting the 5 this past week. Sacks.
Dude, that's not cool, man.
20.
Mac Jones slid into the crotch of that defender.
Damn.
He kicked him in.
Hope he had a cup on.
The crotch. What are you watching?
No,
watch the game.
It's like pow,
pow. I can show you like when he did the slide, the defender went to jump over him and he
slid into the crotch.
And then boom, he lifted his foot and just hit him right in the crotch.
Jesus Christ.
You gotta see the replay, man.
I watch it.
Yeah, we I look at it and say that,
play on it.
How about Micah Parsons stop on the 1 yard line?
Yeah.
Oh man, what a play to go from like 11, 12 yards behind. Like, wow, what a hustle, man.
I tell you, that reminded me of the first game that Jobu went to. After the Giants won their last Super Bowl, they had the season opener in New York versus the Cowboys to open up the season. We were there because United Way, we were doing a community build in Harlem and stuff, and we're there for the game. And I remember Romo throwing a pick that should have been a pick 6, and Tyron Smith tackles the guy like on the 2 yard line. This opens up the game. And the defense stuffed him 3 plays, held him to a field goal, and it was just like all of a sudden the momentum started shifting. And that was one of those moments where you're looking at like, oh shit, the Lions are about to score here. They score there, they're up, getting ready to go into the half. Interception. Oh wow. Don't tell me that we're gonna see the Bears win.
The Bears. That's good, man. You want them to have that, man.
Okay.
Let them have that. You don't want them to be, bitter and trying to
New England
scratch out for a win after 2 losses,
Wow. New England was doing half decent with the other guy. Now Mac Jones is back and they can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not looking great.
Well, he really high pointed that ball. That was a great interception.
Yeah,
look at the body language of Mac Jones. Damn.
It was the Eli Manning one.
He threw off his back foot though.
Yeah. Should we be concerned about? We should be concerned about everybody because this is the NFL and anybody can beat you. And you have the flavor of the week. Remember 2 weeks ago when the 49ers were the flavor of the week? They said, going to the Cowboys, whoever wins that game is the best team in the NFC. The team that loses is the third best, and the 49ers in the middle. 49ers now have lost 2 games in a row, right?
Yeah. I loved the loss yesterday. I thought it was great because that's the next thing. Oh, the Niners are a team to beat.
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm just
Dallas drafts a running back. They get criticized for. You give up 4 picks for a running back,
and it's a great move. It's a great move, and that's what I was like. Wait a minute, you're giving up draft picks and got to pay the guy. What the hell?
It's like that's not how it works anymore. I thought you get a 2, maybe a 2 and a 4.
Yeah, I would agree.
A 2, 3,
they
4.
They give up everything. Yeah,
that's nuts.
I'm interested to see how he goes once they start gelling a little bit. But
it's saying he's not.
It's just a lot of picks.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that it couldn't work out and he can't have huge games. Yeah, I could see it, but I thought this is the league that you don't draft running backs in the first round anymore. You're not going to see many.
He's in it. Was this a 6th year?
Yeah.
You know, okay, his 6th year,
been hurt for most
and
of
been
them,
hurt.
Yeah,
2 of the last 3 seasons or 2.5 seasons. Yeah. So I mean,
this is a desperate move on their part.
No, you got to give
really
the Panthers credit for getting that much out of them. I mean, yeah, it sucks, for them. I think jersey sales. I think that's probably what
I can appreciate the desperate move, though. They want to win at all costs, which I wouldn't. Even me wouldn't want that. I don't want to give up our future
Roy
picks.
Williams? Remember the Roy Williams?
Oh yeah,
trade?
the 2 1s.
Oh
yeah,
God, that
that's
one.
not
that
like
one.
having a draft and you don't have a pick.
That one and Joey Galloway.
Joey Galloway.
And he immediately tore up his knee.
Yeah.
But those were the ones. That's when we first did the Amari Cooper one. I was like, oh, geez, here we go. We have those two, before us. That happened. But fortunately, he played pretty well for us. At least.
Yeah, he did.
That's probably the one thing that people will never forgive is him going for a 5th-round pick.
I won't either. That's ridiculous.
But here's where Dak yesterday
That's
was
what happens
saying,
when you're desperate and you run your mouth. Your owner runs his mouth.
Reven S.
You lose. You lose all the leverage.
Reven S. Somebody actually was at the game yesterday and messaged us and said that they were booing Dak at the stadium.
I heard a little bit, but I don't know. I didn't know who they were booing. I can't say that it was Dak.
I tell you what really actually disappointed me more than anything else was one play. I can't remember what the play was, but it was like, short yardage, like 3rd down and all that. And they're showing the crowds, and I'm just like, where are the fans cheering? Where is it that you guys are making some noise? To help your defense out here.
They don't really help a lot.
Yeah,
that's what I'll agree.
They don't. We're all here. Okay, I'm like, where the hell are the fans?
It was one of those games. It really was. I could see it coming. Well, it kind of played out. I was hoping to be a little bit better, but it wasn't hard. It is what it is.
I will say that the first half of the game, it seemed like we had no energy.
Yeah.
And it felt like, okay, they just showed up. Maybe this is a letdown after the Eagles game. The defense, I'm still amazed that we ended up, there's the Justin Fields we know. You got to get rid of the ball, buddy.
People asking you to put us up on the broadcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck.
People are like, who the hell are you talking to?
Oh, what? We're not on the broadcast?
No, man.
After the shit crashed.
He just put his nice little
after it crashed, I've messed up. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Mills, 36. Oh. Parsons and Dude, 54 from Ole Miss beats. So, here's what's crazy. I know that we've still said we wish we had Von Miller, right? Right?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I said that.
No, I'm just saying that we say that we wish we had gotten Von Miller. We said we wished we had got Bobby Wagner and Zadarius Smith and all that. I was one like, yeah, we need another big body in there because I was the one of Zadarius Smith. How about Dorrance Armstrong, who has as many sacks as Khalil Mack and Von Miller? How crazy is that? How crazy is it that we killed Stephen Jones, Catboy, when he said that Dorrance Armstrong, production-wise, is right there with Randy Gregory?
Man, it's like when you tell a friend not to do something idiotic and he does it and it works out for him, and you're just
I'm glad it did. You know what? I'm glad he proved us wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I love when he proves us wrong because usually he's being a cheapskate about it, but yeah. It's still, man, we still have, I think as Cowboy Nation, you kind of really understand that you have to make that one move to get over the hump when you know your weakness. Once you figure out your weakness through the season, try to get that guy that can improve whatever weakness that you do have. I mean,
well,
I like Bland coming in. What about that whole thing with Jordan Lewis? Lou going out for this, season and
Deron Bland. Yeah. This is been kind of cool that we've actually had people that step up when we lose people.
The depth, there's depth on this chart.
I just think it's funny, the Kelvin Joseph is not really being mentioned to be elevated as far as the defense is concerned, but he doesn't play the slot, so I get it. But
Mills 36, man, you're cold. Amari and Randy Gregory both on 2 and 5 teams. Damn.
No, well, it's good. I'm glad. The grass is greener, Randy, and I don't mean green as in weed either.
Where's I Love Weed? Where is that?
Hold it. Did they bench?
Probably working.
They benched Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
That was a quick return.
I told you.
Wow.
Did you see the zip on the throw? Yeah, with this other guy, this number 4.
Jeez.
He's got an arm. And they were moving the ball with him.
I liked him coming out of the draft.
Maybe he's not 100% healthy. I don't know.
You know Belichick, man. He don't care. He'll embarrass you.
Well,
he'll talk
he
about
saw
it
what
later.
I saw. He threw off his back foot into triple coverage
Mm-hmm.
into a
zone coverage, and he just like
floated
into his zone coverage. It's like,
that was one thing I noticed about Dak. Dak's arm, his balls lost the zip down the field a little bit. I mean, he has the zip, but when he really let it go, the ball kind of tailed at the end. So he's not all the way back.
Oh, I agree, and I wouldn't expect him to be. I mean, how much work could he really do with the arm and the hand during that 6 weeks?
It's just funny how only Dallas gets a win
and gets killed.
And gets killed. It just never ends.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Howard Floyd, Armstrong, yeah.
Yeah, for the limited amount of stuff, I mean, yeah, he has his weaknesses. I think we've talked about it in the sense of, Brian's brought it up in the running game where he struggles, but man, like he definitely makes an impact when he's in there. What I like about Dorrance is that he makes you forget about Randy Gregory. With a combination of a couple of other guys.
They definitely got a spark right there.
Yeah, Zappy, I'm telling you, he gets the ball out quick and he's got some zip.
Wow. Mac Jones is in the doghouse now. Here's the thing that's incredible. I mean, we've got Brett Basham, who they don't even have space for him right now. I mean,
yeah, I know.
And I don't know if they'll get a trade done in the next week or not.
Yeah, well, you figure you're going to gain a position,
but
you're going to gain a spot.
He comes in for one drive and just tears it up.
Won't be for one.
But the depth that we have and the bodies that you can throw at people.
Yeah.
To have Sam Williams, and I don't expect him to be an 8-9 sack guy on the season, but to have you see the potential. He's big. He's bigger than Randy Gregory weight-wise. He's faster. He's not as tall. But you don't get the penalties either, the dumbass penalties. But to be able to throw him in for a few plays and then a Dante Fowler or, and when you start thinking about D-Law, now D-Law is not getting the sacks. He's got 3 sacks, but he's in the top 15 as edge rushers in run stopping.
Yeah.
So, he's holding down the running. We still get run on a little bit up in the middle more than I would like. But if we can score enough points to make teams have to pass, that's where this defense will really, truly rock and roll. And you want to be able to score more points than we did with Cooper Rush. If you get a score or 2 up and that team's got to pass, they're going to get their lunch eaten every single time.
Yeah.
Especially when you play the Giants. I know the Eagle game, let's be clear. 3 interceptions killed us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I don't care what you say. If we just don't get those interceptions.
It's that 3rd interception that kills us. Really, if you think about it. Because, but the first 2, honestly, put the points on the board. So, when you take, again, they're not going to say if you take it away because he did it. But, for a guy that wasn't doing a whole lot during the season, but we saw it the game before with Washington. He gave him some plays. It's just the defense kind of bailed him out with some penalties. So, but again, he did his job. When I look at the backup quarterback, it's just something you need. You need a guy that's going to be able to get in there and get some victories. Even during the 90s, they had brought some guys in to just play one game or whatever to get them through it. So, Cooper Rush, I got to give him credit for that. But
yeah, James Snyder wants to know what happened to Green Bay.
Man, that's
Brother Roz.
Yeah,
Brother Roz is like Matt LaFleur needs to go. He is so sick and tired of Matt LaFleur, the coach. Yeah, Brother Roz is just like if you do not, if you get him on here live, do not mention Green Bay and Matt LaFleur. He will go off. But
yeah, he brings up our shit.
this is a case of
I'm bringing it up now. Now I'm bringing it up.
Mills 36. We lost the Eagles drive because we couldn't stop on the last drive. We did, and we gave them short fields.
Yeah,
too many
that was
times.
the one thing that I took out, and that's a big thing. We finally got it to 20-17. We were in the game, and they ran the ball down our throat, and we could do nothing about it.
Yeah.
That was very frustrating. So that one drive could say, on that night, you were the better team.
Mm-hmm.
You throw out everything up until that point. You had all the momentum. They ran it down your throat, and we couldn't stop it. A lot of any BS. They ran it down your throat.
Well,
so that was frustrating.
This is crazy when I look at this. Okay, so the Eagles coming off a bye week. They have the Steelers on Sunday.
At home.
They have the Texans on Thursday night, a short week. Then they have the Commanders, which will be Tyler Heineke.
Yeah.
And then they have the Colts.
They'll play better with Heineke, though. I think Heineke was a better quarterback.
Well, yeah, and actually, a quarterback controversy couldn't happen to a better team.
Houston's going to be sneaky tough, too, because it's in Houston.
They can be. Yeah.
I think so.
They always give us a tough time.
But you know what's interesting?
What's that?
Everybody's talking about, the Eagles, but the Giants are one game back, and we're 2 games back. Mm-hmm. If they have any hiccups at all, they're going to get turned on quick. Like if they lose a couple games, watch and see what happens. It's not easy going wire to wire. I don't care what the schedule is. Okay. And then if you do get into the playoffs with like one loss or something, all the pressure is on you. And then you're going to play somebody who's going to be playing good. You actually got to play. You can't play, they played us. We played like absolute dog meat and still we're in the game, So,
the Giants. Now I'm not sure that the Jags are a good team. Okay, I think the Jags started out. This is where I always say you don't really know what teams are until you get to about the middle of October. The Jags started out, and it seemed like the Jags kind of turned things around. But I think we saw the real Jags the last couple of weeks, and the Giants were behind in that game and had to come from behind to win. But the Giants have learned how to win ugly games, and it never seems like they're out of them. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. If I think back to, I can't remember if it was the last Super Bowl or the one before, that it seemed like every freaking week they made it as a wild card team, but every week they had like a crazy play that would give them a win. I remember against the Arizona Cardinals that Eli threw a pass, time's running out. The wide receiver was never touched. He put the ball on the ground, and they didn't blow they didn't blow the whistle. They spotted the ball, and they ran the play. So it was like, that was a turnover. They ended up kicking the game-winning field goal. Had they not won that game, for example, they didn't go to the playoffs, and they don't beat the 17-0 New England Patriots. But it was like every single week they ended up having this crazy win that you weren't expecting them to get. So they are a scary team from that standpoint. The crazy thing, because we're going through statistics, and this is where Roz has always beaten me down, because I was saying the Cowboys, we got 29 sacks. San Francisco's got 24. And going down the line, I think the Giants only have like 13. And it's kind of like, how are the Giants winning? They don't have a great quarterback. Their defense is decent, but they're not getting the sacks.
100 yards yesterday. They're doing what
they're winning ugly.
Yeah, that's why I said Dak has to run. I know he don't want to get hurt. Nobody's saying get hurt.
Oh, wow, interception. Okay, the real Justin Fields is showing up now.
Dak has to do some called runs. You know what I mean? They have to do it.
Yeah.
Loosen up the defense. It'll help him. Not saying run into somebody. Run, get down. It's football. You're going to get hit. We can't play scared the rest of your career. I'm not saying he's playing scared, but the way they're calling the game for him, we can't get our free quarterback hurt. Okay, well, look at all the good teams. It's teams with a running threat. It just is. So, look at that.
Well, it seems like
saw it.
Passing overall in the NFL seems to be down. I need to talk to Roz and get the statistics on it, but you're not. I mean, of course, Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen are both lighting up the scoreboards and stuff, but for the most part, you're not getting a lot of great passing out there. I mean, Matthew Stafford is a pick six, magnet right there. He's not having a great year. You know, Aaron Rodgers definitely without Devontae Adams is not. Russell Wilson is the absolute positive worst. Tom Brady is looking bad. And you don't look around and see a lot of great quarterback play throughout it. Cowboys got 2015 Broncos formula. You are 100% right on that one. But I think we're going to be able to have a little bit better offense by the time the season ends. I think as Michael Gallup really gets back into shape and we get a little more time with the offensive line, Dak gets some more time playing with everybody. I think if we can get to, this is crazy to say, if we can get the offense in the top 15 with this defense.
It will. It's only a matter of time, Mark, before we start rolling offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, so Justin Fields is back to looking like Justin Fields right now. So,
he got batted at the line, so it's.
But I mean, I just think that they just need to call. That's what I'm worried about. Really, I'm worried about the team and Kellen Moore. They just need a a better called game.
mm-hmm.
You see what's going on nowadays. You need to give if the defense doesn't think that you're a threat to run, you just make the game so much easier for them. That's what made Dak good.
Mm-hmm. I just want him. I just want him to set up screens downfield. I don't want him to set up screens in the backfield. That's my biggest hang up on him. I mean, sometimes you can get past the situational, him not understanding that, because I don't know if he's ever going to concept that. But don't set up your screens in the backfield. Don't keep doing these reverses. And if you're going to throw those screens, let it be one of those ones where the guy's already 5 yards downfield and everybody's
mm-hmm.
forming around him with the other wide receivers and tight ends.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
It'll also help your offensive line.
Back?
Wow. First and goal.
I'm back behind both of you guys.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
How far am I happened? Back? What are you looking at?
I'm not going to say it, but damn.
Say it. I don't care.
Wow.
Oh, it's back. Here we go.
He throws a big pass.
Nice catch. Oh, my God.
Zappy. How do you say zap or zappy?
Zappy.
How about happy? Because damn.
Happy zappy.
Happy zappy there. Damn.
That catch.
Wow.
Who was that? Number one. Who was that? Parker. Devontae. It's my boy.
Damn. Okay. All of a sudden, they're back in this one real quick. The Bears did come out looking pretty good, and all of a sudden, they're falling down. Beef Brothers for a 50-yard bomb. One game at a time, will be fine. Well, we got the Bears, and then we've got a chance to catch our breath and rest before we play the Packers. And the Packers, by that time, they may be a scary team because they're going to be a wounded animal. They've got Buffalo, I believe, this weekend, right? So, here it is. They're 3-4. If they lose to Buffalo, all of a sudden they're 3-5. I don't know who they play before we play them, but they're going to be fighting for their lives, and that's when the team is dangerous. And Aaron Rodgers versus Mike McCarthy and so on. Although Roz thinks that they're done for the season.
Oh my God! Touchdown.
Green Bay has got, let's see. Well, they got the Lions before us. So they got the Bills and they got the Lions. And then us. So, yeah, Green Bay is going to be fighting for their lives when we play them. And so we know that that's going to be a big game. I bet Parsons takes Aaron Rodgers out for the season. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers wouldn't mind leaving the building right now. He does not look like he's having fun right now at all. Kind of like
he
Tom
signed that
Brady.
new contract too, didn't he?
Now you can't leave. Now they're probably saying, maybe. Listen, there's always. It's funny how they're going to make excuses for Aaron. So it is what it is. Get used to it. That's the way it is until Dak wins. He wins something. They ain't going away. It's a shame. Could you imagine being Dak Prescott, other than the money, and that's a great thing, but having to listen to that shit? He must turn it. I'm hoping he don't listen to it, but they listen to it a little bit. You have to when every ESPN, Fox, they're all talking negatively on you. So it's like, what did he do to anybody that he deserves this?
With all those Super Bowl rings that he has.
Yeah, running out the back of the end zone, fucking fraud.
So Aaron Rodgers' deal was viewed as a 3-year, $150 million contract extension that included reportedly fully guaranteed base salary of $59 million in 2023 and $49 million that is not guaranteed in 2024. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fully guaranteed $59 million.
That's why Adams was out the door.
Here's the problem: that what's his name was horrible that they got that draft. What's his name? Jordan Love.
Yeah,
I don't think he's very good. So it's doubly bad against them.
Right? Yeah. And that's where the whole problem began because he looked at that as like, you're going to spend that pick on a quarterback?
Yeah, he got his panties in his bunch.
Yeah.
And if he would have worked out, he would not be here now. He didn't work out, which is like the Niners got lucky with their quarterback.
Arthur Mason.
Yeah.
They kept D. Garoppolo when they were trying to unload him.
Yeah, but they were going with.
Yeah.
And Al Itson? Got you too, buddy. We're going to do a drawing here before it's all said and done tonight. They got issues. Their whole team needs to. They need a lot of help in a lot of places on that team. And getting rid of Devontae Adams.
Is why the Packers will not win. Richie Mack, I got you, bro.
Driving everybody out of town.
Alfonso Linder, Dak does not deserve the negativity from the social media. It's like a hatred, jealousy, or Dak because they want to see him fail. Yeah, I don't understand at this point what it is. You can easily say, oh, well, it's racist. I don't think that's it. I think to some degree there might be, but I don't think they realize how they're looking. These people that are talking negatively on Dak. You can't say nothing about the numbers. The numbers are there, right? It would have to be, what is your issue with Dak Prescott? Is it just
the star?
Just to be, is it the star? Is it just to increase your ratings? Because talking negatively sparks up what we're doing now. And saying, well, naming all these people who do it. I don't know. It's just, it's very tiring.
They did it to Romo. Okay, they did it to Romo too. Okay, because remember, not to this extent.
Not to this extent.
Okay, but they used to always say that Romo was a choker. Romo can't win in December. And it was actually, if you actually looked at our defense, DeMarcus Ware would always get most of the sacks the early half of the season, and then towards the end of the season would kind of disappear. And then, of course, you had Jason Garrett, who, Jason Garrett didn't change shit, okay? But, you started looking at it, Romo had some of his best numbers towards the end of the season. And he had more comeback victories than anybody at that time. So to say that he was a choker, he wasn't really a choker. You just did not have a complete team. And see, here's the thing. As much as people are praising Cooper Rush for winning, he wasn't doing anything special. The defense was doing everything special. Take a look at Turpin giving us the ball on the 40-yard line on that return. Those things matter. How many times do we lose games over the years because we held on to kickers that should have been cut?
Yeah.
When you had a kicker that missed 11 kicks, Brett Maher, not Maher, shit. What was his name before Brett Maher? But Maher missed 11, didn't he?
There was Haraluha.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone through and we've lost a couple of games every year because of our kicker missing kicks.
And Legatron.
Oh my God.
You know, you can go through in the game.
Break the leg.
Remember the one that I was excited on that got me, and he just that after that was I never got excited really about a kicker was Vanderjack.
Oh my God, the
When I
idiot
saw
kicker.
Vanderjack, I was like, oh man, the most accurate kicker in NFL history. And then he was the most inaccurate kicker
in Dallas.
Like it was like,
Vanderjack.
Kidding me. Like yeah. That was the guy that did it for me that I never got really excited about kickers anymore.
If fans had their way and got rid of Dak, you could end up with a situation like we had after Troy Aikman, or you could have a situation like Washington. You think about how many quarterbacks they had. Kirk Cousins. Now, say what you will, I'm not sure Kirk Cousins is a guy that you can win a Super Bowl with, but Kirk Cousins wasn't the Washington's only problem, right?
They
acted like if we just get rid of Kirk Cousins, we're going to win Super Bowls. You know, they went out and got Alex Smith, who was a former #1 pick, played really well in Kansas City, right? They destroyed him, and you look at now, this is the 8th starting quarterback since Kirk Cousins. And you can't look at any of them and say that any of them have been worth a damn, right? Mm-hmm. You look at the Cleveland Browns, and this started back with them trying to get Donovan McNabb to RG3. They have just literally tried quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, and they can't find one that sticks. You look at where we were, think about this. After Troy Aikman went down, we had Jason Garrett, Randall Cunningham, Anthony Wright, Quincy Carter, Ryan Leaf, Clint Stoner, Chad Hutchinson, Quincy Carter again, Vinny Testaverde, Drew Henson, and then Drew Bledsoe. And take a look around at the NFL right now. How many quarterbacks do you look at and say, oh, they're great? We talked about people, I take Jared Goff over Dak Prescott. Okay. We've talked about Carson Wentz over Dak Prescott. Okay. Go get Nick Foles, right? Do you think that any of those guys are going to make this team better? We said Russell Wilson. People were all on board on that one. Are any of those guys going to make this team any better than it is right now?
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't have an offensive coordinator that could actually, I think that's going to be hang up right there. I mean, obviously, when the offensive line were a little bit better in certain areas, when it comes to pass blocking, I think that's Brian pointed that out in the beginning of the season, where that was going to be the weakness a little bit more. These guys can, when it comes to the running game, they're definitely better at pushing guys than taking on the guys, and so
as
an offensive lineman, you would rather run block than pass block.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I was telling Phil a little while ago. We were breaking down the game yesterday. We were talking about what happened yesterday. Well, if you notice, like Steele didn't have the best of games.
No, that was his worst one since Tampa Bay.
But
Tyler too.
Like what happened was, it was one of those games where your opponent, you're like, their defense isn't great. We're not going to do anything. We're going to basically leave those guys alone. We're not going to chip. We're not going to have a tight end there. Chip go out.
We didn't do 12 personnel.
Anybody? Yeah, it's like they were just saying, "All right, guys, you can handle it." Well, this is the NFL, and you saw what happened when you say, "Okay, guys, you can handle it." You expose anything, I mean, Hutchinson's a young kid. He's a speed rusher. You would think you would have helped a little.
Yeah.
And that's what I was afraid of going into the game. That's why I said the game's going to be close for a while. I didn't expect Dallas to offensively look the way they did. I thought they would be a little better, but ultimately it worked out and we got through the game. So, but that's kind of what I expected. They just don't learn, Mark. They don't learn that they need to run 12 personnel, or at least, like, nobody's saying double team, but you could chip and then just help
use them
out.
as weapons, though. Okay, we've proven that Hendershot and Ferguson can catch the football.
I know. I would love to know.
No, he's like, I got room for that, or I could do this reverse.
I almost
when we were at the end of the game, that reverse to CD, and I was like, dude, what is going on, man? It's just like, it was almost like a kid
Yeah.
And the parents are like, you're not allowed to run around and stuff. And then because everybody's kind of left the party, like, okay, now you can run around and get it out of your system. And it kind of felt like that's what it was at the end of the game. It was just like, all right, now get all that crazy crap that you wanted to do, and do it now. And so, all of a sudden you kind of got away from the game plan again, and then they got back on it, and then all of a sudden there was success. So it's just like those simple plays where, I hate to say, sometimes we were criticizing Jason Garrett for being vanilla all the time, but at the same time, it's Kellen Moore's, gadgetness that's kind of been his weakness.
It would be nice to figure out what our identity is.
Identity is running the ball, and our identity is running the ball, trying to set the play action to roll Dak out if you have to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a game where you're not having the running game or your defense is not playing, then you'd have Dak throw it a bunch of times and allow him to do it and see what happens there. But you don't do that every single game as the game plan. You have the running game and let it be the feature,
You basically are running the offense to help set them up. Some of the things you're doing in the first half, start working in the second half because you were setting them up and things. And that's where being able to, run the football and start doing play action off of it because they're worried about stopping the run. Sometimes it just doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason or any thought. It's just like, okay, let me look at the playbook. Okay, I haven't called this one. Let me call this one. And it's like, why? Like you said, the reverse. Why are we running reverse when we've been running Zeke and Tony Pollard straight ahead and they haven't been able to stop us? Why do you keep getting away from things that are working?
You could tell Detroit, it came out, they had more guys at the line of scrimmage. They wanted to stop the run. So in a situation like that, like 12 personnel makes a lot of sense.
And play action.
You know what it reminded me of?
It makes a lot of sense. Instead of doing... shotgun with 4 or 5 wide receivers. Instead of doing that, run 12 personnel. But listen,
it just reminded me of like
the
Water Boy when they're getting shut down, and then on the other sideline they're like,
oh wow,
the dummy book and the football for dummies, and they're just like, that's the reason why they're picking away that running, those running certain situations and those trick plays, and you're like, come on, man. Like, they know what they're going to do with Turpin when he gets out there in the field. Kellen Moore isn't clever when it comes to trying to get him maybe a screen downfield or something set up. No, it's just like, I got this
sidearm Sally. Wow.
Chicago touchdown.
Sidearm Sally.
Was there a late hit?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
It's a touchdown.
I was trying to figure out what Fields complaining about.
His feel, I don't know. I mean, I guess he was hoping for a penalty on it.
Oh yeah, he got sandwiched.
Dude, how about that? That was Hurts the week before. Remember, he was hurt when we sandwiched him. I'm saying, man, Hurts is going to put himself. He takes way too many hits. Something's going to happen to that poor guy because he's, he. You could bench I don't give a shit. Oh, you could bench 600 pounds. If somebody hits you, one of these big dudes, you're not getting up. So,
well, it's not with the force of 600 pounds. I'll tell you that. It's way more.
Yeah. But I mean, just because you could squat or whatever, 600
unless you're going to hold him,
deadlift or whatever the hell he's doing, you shouldn't be squatting anyway. That's horrible for you.
All that running he's doing.
Damn, Chicago. Man,
that was one ugly side. Oh, he did get sandwiched pretty good in there.
Yeah, he got.
But, that was, I mean, he wasn't driven into the ground. They didn't,
Well, yeah, because both sides had him up.
Right. I'm sure he didn't like it. But that was a duck that came off of his hand there. But the running back, what a nice run for a TD. The Bears are up 17-14 here. That's kind of crazy here. Okay,
we're watching. Home alone, Mark?
No, Mike's. He's in.
He's there.
He's been running around in the back.
He's like, I've seen enough. He's like, I've seen enough bad football, in prime time.
I guess he's got no money on it.
I don't know, Mike. You got any money on the game? He said no. He's like, hell no.
He's always got action.
Well, doesn't have any action tonight here. Okay. Because Brian,
you were talking about
money on the game. He's like, not on this ass game.
Well, that's what makes the game better. I don't bet anymore, but I'm just saying.
So who's right? Who's the biggest surprise team this year to you guys?
The Jets and the Giants.
What's that, Mark?
Who's the biggest surprise team for you guys this year?
Mike
is saying the Jets and the Giants.
Well,
the Giants. Your football Giants.
Tampa Bay too.
Well, yeah, Tampa Bay being that bad. Tampa Bay and Green Bay being that bad.
Seattle Seahawks.
Actually, I would say Denver being that bad. I think that Denver was better with Drew Lock.
I think Seattle can win that division.
That's another crazy one.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? You get rid of
Russell Wilson.
and he's playing better than Russell did.
I'm surprised Miami probably with Tua. I think I have to give Tua a little bit more credit than I was giving going into the season with. So it seems like right when he went out, that offense kind of just staggered.
Oh, they did. The whole team did.
Yeah, and so he comes back, he gives energy. So yeah, he's more important there than I thought. So
are the Bengals back now? They're back to 4-3.
Well, Collins is getting better.
Do we think that they're back?
No.
No.
I mean, it's a week-to-week league. Let's see how he does. Can we do it consistently? I guess that's always the biggest thing with this league. It's like I know the media guys don't do that. It's like they jump very quickly on the bandwagons of these other teams, and Kyle Brandt.
Oh, not another turnover.
But I mean, they did look good. So it's the passing game did look good.
Reveness. Who wins the NFC South title? I'm surprised Tampa Bay lost to the Panthers.
And Atlanta looked good the week before, then Atlanta didn't look good. So it's like Tampa looked pretty bad yesterday. But then,
I honestly wonder if Tom Brady is going to stay there for the season.
He's not there mentally because of what's going on at home.
Carolina's.
He's not mentally there.
I mean, you would say Tampa Bay is probably the better team, but they haven't been playing that way.
What were Tom Brady's numbers yesterday?
I showed you the meme yesterday that AB put up with him walking off the field, Tom Brady, in the middle of a game.
I mean, you don't expect the Carolina Panthers, after they fire the coach and they've got the team, to beat Tampa Bay 21-3. I just want you to think about that for a second here. Tampa Bay put up 3 points with Tom Brady.
And they got rid of one of their wide receivers, too. That was actually decent.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Evans as well, too. I mean, with that big drop, that would have been a touchdown. It could have got him momentum. It's hard to say. Sometimes, a lot of times with those games, especially with division games, it just takes one play to all of a sudden change the momentum. And when you don't catch that big play for a huge touchdown, that definitely meant something. And so there was never a rhythm gotten started. Wow. So it's like, but yeah, it looked pretty bad. It looked really, really bad.
Richie MC says, one passing TD in 9 quarters for Tom Brady. He was 32 of 49 for 290 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. But they couldn't run the ball either, though. They only had about 50-some yards. That looked, their offense is like the Cowboys was towards the end of the season last year. They couldn't run the football, and it's all Tom Brady.
Yeah, Glow Perry's right. There are no gimmies in this league.
Mary Alvarez says Tom Brady is just playing the way he is playing because he chose football over his family. Yeah, Mary, you don't give up on a girl like Giselle for sweaty dudes when you're 45. He could have. That makes no sense to me. You got nothing more to prove. Okay, you win another one, nobody cares.
Are you shitting me? No. No. Wow. Wait till you guys see this one. This is unreal. We have to keep rush lane discipline on this game. I mean, don't. Wow.
Fields is not a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not real good at passing.
That the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to worry about because their running game,
10 scrambles for 10 or plus yards leads the NFL.
Well, at least Dallas can close in that pocket though better. They're better at the pocket closing.
Yeah.
And when you see that was a lot of pressure, but there was nobody getting home, and
there was no pressure up the middle.
Yeah.
It was.
And once you got past that first level, you
yeah.
could use the speed to go ahead. Yeah. But that's a huge play. He should have been sacked, and boom. Now it's first down on the 20 with 31 seconds to go. 20-yard run when he should have been sacked for a 10-yard loss.
Yeah, that was a hell of a scramble.
And then he fumbles it.
Okay.
See, now that's what you expected to play before. Okay.
He's like Jameis Winston in that
There
crap.
you go. I don't see that happening against Dallas Cowboys.
It's freezing in here.
Can't have that shit.
So who do the Giants play this week? Do the Giants have a tough game this week?
The bye week.
Let's see here.
Oh my god.
I think it was another one.
Watch the fumble.
Well, Kyle Pizzle's saying they're going to the playoffs.
Well, that's what I was saying in the beginning of the season. Once everything started going, was that there could be 3 teams from our division. People, no, it's like you could see 3 teams from our division going to the playoffs.
They play the Seahawks.
Seahawks in Seattle.
But it's if they can continue it, because it's a long season, man. It's like I'm interested to see once injuries start happening, and I'm curious if they can keep that on. I mean, those are some very close games. So if you're gonna win them, that's how playoff football can be.
We have our toughest game after the bye, not the first game. I think they're gonna go into Green Bay to win. I think our toughest game will be in Minnesota.
Yeah. But
if I'm thinking if we split there, but we very well could win them both. But let's say we split, just don't lose them both. We're sitting pretty. But unfortunately, I think home field is going to go through Philadelphia unless they have I'm not wishing it, but unless they lose their quarterback, they're going to win 13, 14 games. That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
So
and not really be tested, other than we'll be.
I know
Us and the Giants are going to be the toughest games that they have all season.
So I don't know where me and Phil were saying it, but I've heard this and I believe it. We're probably going to play Eagles 2 more times. I can see us playing them in the playoffs. I don't see anybody. I can see the Niners maybe turning it on late in the season and slipping in because of the extra wild card spot. But the Giants are putting so many wins together that you don't know.
It would be, at this point, probably 4 more wins will get them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be realistic because
look at all these other teams, and how their records are going.
Because all the other, it probably will be 3 teams out of the NFC East that are in the playoffs. Because you've got, right now you've got in second place in the North is Green Bay at 3-4, right? Actually, pull up this. Tampa Bay is leading their division with what? Are they 3-4? So you don't look at somebody else in that division going.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
Oh, he got the first down?
Okay, so right now you've got the Rams at 3-3, the 49ers at 3-4, and the Cardinals at 3-4. Do you think one of those teams are going to be a wild card at the moment?
No. I think whoever wins the division is going
to be the only one. Okay.
Right.
NFC North, you've got right now the Vikings at 5-1. The Packers would have to turn things around. They've got a first place schedule. They're 3-4.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't think they're going to be, right?
Bears and then Detroit. So
and then you've got the Falcons and Buccaneers at 3-4, tied for first in the NFC South.
Crazy, isn't it?
So you're looking at,
probably
yeah. So one of those teams. Okay, so we get 2 of those wild cards. There's still 1 more that's out there. So one of those other teams still could be a wild card team. But you're talking about right now the 3-3 Rams, the 3-4 49ers, the 3-4 Packers, the 3-4 Falcons.
That's the problem, though.
One of those teams will be a wild card team. So you would need 2 of those teams to be better in the end than the Cowboys and the Giants. Cowboys or the Giants.
Thing is, you don't know how some of these teams are going to be, because Green Bay, obviously, you don't know if they'll actually turn it on. So, I mean, you can't say. I would have said that would have been a tough matchup. So, I mean, you look at a lot of these teams. A lot of these teams aren't playing great football. So that's why we say that. I mean, and even with us, I mean, even if we play the Eagles, we're playing great football and stuff, and we were to beat them, that's not going to be enough to knock them off their schedule of what's in front of them. I mean, if you can look at a game and almost automatically think that your team is going to win with confidence, then guess what? That team is probably not a great team. Mm-hmm. So as much as you want to say, oh, we don't have how can you say we don't have a tough schedule? If you can look at it there and say, thinking that, a lot of your guys are saying that, we're going undefeated. Why are you saying that? Because you don't think there's a threat? Mm-hmm. You think your team is great, but guess what? I mean, there's not a whole lot of teams in the NFC East that are doing great right now. I mean, you look at the Rams that were like a Super Bowl thing. You got San Francisco that traded everything to get a running back that they could gel with. I mean, he looked pretty good here and there. Does he stay healthy? That's going to be the question.
Right.
So there are a lot of teams that we thought were going to be a threat that aren't. And obviously there's a lot of teams that could turn it on.
Around,
there's a long season. So these teams that we think that aren't, that great could turn around and be very good teams.
It's still a very long season, and you don't know who could get hurt. I mean, if Barkley gets hurt,
that's all of a sudden that game.
Then all of a sudden the Giant, and I'm not Giant fans. I'm not wishing that on him. I'm just putting that out there because he does have an injury history. But you could look at that and say if Hurts gets hurt,
injuries through the first 7 weeks than anybody.
Yeah,
and we're still hanging in there. So. You suffer what we suffer. Lose Hurts for 5 games and get back to me. Okay? Lose your left tackle for 5 games. You saw what happened for 2 quarters. The backup left right tackle was ass.
Yeah.
So, all we're saying is to go through what we already went through this year and then get back to me. That's all.
Zeke is saying he's very sore.
That knee, man. That knee looked like he got hyperextended.
I tell you what, I'm going to tell you, be happy that his foot was not on the ground. Yeah. If his foot had been planted, that would have been a season-ending injury. That knee would have been ripped to shreds. But fortunately, he was in the air, so it whipped it forward. Yeah, it hyperextended it forward. But if it had been in the ground, he would have went right through it.
With the rule, leading with the helmet is still leading with the helmet, whether it's high, low. Mm-hmm. He left with the helmet. He hit him with his helmet.
Yeah,
on the knee. So I don't understand the rule. If you're leading with your helmet, it doesn't matter. They're penalizing running backs for leading with the helmet going into a defender if they're lowering their helmet.
Ooh, I'm good. I'm way behind. What's up, Mary?
So that's my only issue.
Caitlin, what's up, Caitlin?
He led with the helmet into Zeke's knee. That's
Yeah. And Miss Hot Sauce, Lola.
The AFC, there's a lot of teams there, but you got the Chiefs and your Bills that are looking more powerful than anybody. But again, you play through the playoffs, you never know who's going. The Chiefs all of a sudden lose to the Colts.
Only one of them can come out. So I think it's the Bills' year. I really do. Yeah. I think the Bills. It's the Bills' year in the AFC, but anything can happen. They've choked before. Sorry, Bills fans. It's true.
Well, we've been on the other side of it at 3-5 and turned around and won the division.
Right.
And we were also on the other side of it last year where we started off hot and we suffered a lot of injuries going down the stretch, and it ended up making a difference by the time we got to the playoffs. So anything can happen, and we're not even at the halfway point
and
yet.
You can see Washington all of a sudden start to win some games because of Heineke. I mean, sorry, I had to say the whole sentence.
Oh Lord! but again,
no, but he is a better quarterback than Wentz. So I mean, he'll get it at least out of his hands.
Is Mark laughing at Heineke?
Yeah, I was just talking about Washington turning his season around.
Wow, ever since that video came out that Mark did, they're on a hot streak.
Hot streak. Have they won 2 in a row?
Old school Commanders in Washington.
Come on, man! Don't do that.
That's a rally cry. Come on.
You're gonna piss off Brian.
No, man, every time you play it,
my home team, my loyalty. I'm at Uptown Royalty.
It just somebody loses their remote to the TV. It just doesn't work.
The computer crashes.
Mary Alvarez, what's going on?
Oh Lordy, man, you
I'll
guys.
tell you what, but Scary Terry had a good game yesterday. I will say that he had a good game.
I think he actually has a good repertoire with Heineke. Carson Wentz is always so high, and he's late and he holds on to the ball too long. The question will be is what happens to Carson Wentz if Heineke wins a few games and stuff? What happens to Carson Wentz from here going forward?
Traded for the second other time.
Who's going to trade for him?
There'd be somebody. There's somebody.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
Sam Bradford kept getting jobs. I never thought Sam Bradford would keep getting jobs.
But if he's
kept getting jobs.
Okay, but at least Sam Bradford was like with a team for more than one season. There's something to be said about being, if you've been stopped now, the Eagles say, we're going to go ahead and pay you $34 million to leave.
You're going to be Carolina next year.
How about Matty
I don't know.
Ice?
Carolina looked pretty good yesterday against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they did.
Carson Wentz is a team killer.
How about Matty Ice being benched?
Well, that might be another one of those things that, depending on how much he plays. Well, he's got a hurt shoulder, but, God, I can't think of his name. The coach said basically it's not the injury problem. We're just benching him right now. And it may be that they're going to make sure that he doesn't play enough that they have to give up more compensation. Usually they have the amount of plays that they play on the team to determine how much draft capital is given up. And it may be that we look at this and say, this season we ain't going nowhere. We're not going to spend any more than we have to. Let me see, what was the trade for that? What did they give up for Matty Ice?
I don't remember it being a whole lot.
Maybe a second?
I would say third or fourth. All right, survey says.
Colts officially lose Carson Wentz Commanders trade after Matt Ryan benching. The Washington Commanders Indianapolis Colts matchup had all the makings of a must-see television. Not only Carson Wentz returning to the franchise that traded him, but to face a quarterback Matt Ryan, Indy appointed to replace him. The Colts dropped another rivalry game. Well, why are you saying they lost the trade? Right now, this move is for Sam to be the starter for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it says, as you might expect, the quarterback gets paid the most. Matt Ryan has $18.7 million salary cap hit, 8.79% of the Colts total, a 14th most in the league amongst QBs.
Damn, and, I didn't realize he had been this bad. He's had 9 interceptions and fumbled 11 times. That's worse than Carson Wentz. Wow.
Matt Ryan has been traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a third-round pick in the 2022 draft. So it was a third.
Okay, not earth-shattering, but still. Yeah. No, actually, I see.
Seeing
9 interceptions and 11 fumbles.
Look at this real quick. You got, you've already seen it. J.C. Jackson, he's out. Breeze Hall, the torn ACL and meniscus, he's out. Matt Ryan benched. I'm telling you, this is only week 7. I'm not saying the Eagles, they're on a roll and that's all well and good. You should enjoy it, Eagles fans, but you just better hope that you stay healthy, because that's what this league is about more than anything else, is staying healthy. If you could be healthy, that's half the battle. So there's a long way to go, people. Let's not write anybody off right now.
That's true.
Just trying to, but you can't reason with those people because they're the best, and nobody's beating them. Until they get beat, then they'll make an excuse.
So Kellen Moore said this on getting Michael Gallup only 2 targets yesterday. That's on me. I feel like we need to find a way to get Michael going. He's done everything we've asked. We just have to get him more involved. And it just seems like, you're putting Noah Brown. You paid right now. Michael Gallup is your highest paid wide receiver on the roster, isn't he? After the new contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you only get him 2 targets, but you're getting Noah Brown more.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that offense, befuddles me. I don't. There's no rhyme or reason with what they're doing. There really isn't. So I don't know. I think that's going to be our downfall.
Yep, I can see that.
Well, it does not look like Jerry Jones has any inkling, damn it, to actually trade for anybody. He was asked about Odell Beckham.
Oh yeah. What did he say there? Because I
somebody said, well, is it possible that you trade for Odell Beckham, and finish his rehab here in Dallas? And he said, I'd get in water if I talked about that one. I think he meant hot water. But, like he would get in trouble for tampering, but you wouldn't, because he's a free agent. You can talk about him all that you want. You can say, hey, I'd like to sign Odell, right? And it wouldn't matter. I think he was just trying to avoid the subject and all that, because that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
But I do feel like wide receiver may end up being our downfall.
Yeah, Mark Hutchin. I did see James Robinson. He got traded to the Jets because they lost their rookie running back who had a great game yesterday. Mm-hmm. I hate to see that. But that's what this league is, injuries and who can respond to the injuries. Very seldom do you go a whole year without suffering some major injury. And I will tell you, looking at that game last week against the Eagles, if they lose Lane Johnson, they are cooked. And that's pretty sad to say for one position. If they lose, they're done. We've lost our left tackle already for the year. Mm-hmm. Well, pretty much.
He may come back. So,
for all intents and purposes. So,
you can say we took a step back, definitely, with it.
Yeah, as much as I think he's doing good, I think that a healthy Tyron. Let's not be stupid here. A healthy Tyron Smith is dominating. We don't ever have to give him help. Yeah, he's going to get beat like every other person's going to get beat, but not that much.
Not that much. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I would like to have Tyler next to him. That would be great. So
interesting stat here: the Chicago Bears have lost their last 9 times on primetime games. The Giants have had a longer one, which is 11. And their only loss this year, of course, was to our Cowboys on Monday night.
Daniel Jones had 100 yards rushing, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
That's incredible. It's that dual threat. It really opens things up.
I think I might actually go be breaking away so I can go spend time with the girl right now.
You gonna break away?
I'm gonna break away so I can go spend some time.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna do this whole game tonight. I've got to get up tomorrow morning and get down to Waynesboro as well. But surprisingly, it's been turnover filled, but it's been kind of exciting in comparison to some of the other ones.
You got a nice little chat here going though too. You got a nice little.
Before you go though, talk about your channel now and some of the great things you guys are doing.
Yeah, man, we just had Cowboys blog on, which was great insight. So if you guys can, look at that video, that's he had some really good insight about the game. We were talking about the Detroit Lions. Mm-hmm. Of course, I know when we're on here, game time, Brian over there is very quiet and he hardly talks. So he talks during our broadcast. So I know I'm just messing. But no, man, it was great. I like the fact that we're bringing on other YouTubers, other Cowboy YouTubers, giving him, giving them time, even if sometimes some of them aren't going to agree with us, which I really like, because obviously we're Cowboy Nation. We're, spread across the U.S. and we're all going to have different opinions. We all hear those ones that are crazy about it. We all have those ones that were judgmental about everything. So we see it all, and it's nice to get everybody's opinion for it. So I like what we're doing.
It was cool. It was cool having him on. He doesn't like sugarcoat anything, so it was nice.
Yeah, cool. So then we're just constantly trying to do it every Saturday at 7, and then the day after the game at 7 as well too. So I appreciate you always having us on, Mark. I really do, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. I enjoy talking with you guys. So who would have thought that the Seattle Giants game would be a much-watched game?
It is a much-watched game.
that's going to be a huge game.
Howard Floyd, Cowboys should run the ball. Just run the ball, man. There you go.
Out of 12 personnel.
That's a must-watch game. I think the Giants could be in trouble there, but you never.
I tell you one thing.
Let's see what's up with the receiver. And the Seattle receiver got hurt, but I don't know how bad it is.
I have been to quite a few different stadiums in the NFL. I've been in New Orleans. You know, that Mercedes Dome gets loud, but there is nothing like Seattle. I was there the year that Golden Tate jacked up
Sean Lee, yeah.
That blindside hit.
Yeah.
But I remember I had a friend who lives in Seattle. He said, man, take some earplugs with you. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Earplugs? I'm like, it can't be that bad. Dude.
Oh, it's loud.
It's the way it's designed. It's almost like a opera house. So that overhang reverberates, and the seats themselves are hollow. So you get this vibrating feeling. And when it's loud, it is loud. I'm literally cupping my hands like this with my wife, Tracy, sitting next to me. And I'm yelling, and she cannot hear me.
That's crazy.
And when you leave, you feel like your whole body is still shaking from the sound of it. I mean, maybe that game was more than usual because it was the Cowboys, but that shit is real. You cannot hear Jack there. That is the craziest place I've been. The only way I could describe it would be probably if you were inside of a jet engine. That's what it would be like. So the Giants going, all the way across the country there, playing in that might be a difference maker.
All right, man. I'm going to catch you guys, all right?
All right, peace out there.
All right, later. Thanks again.
All right, so prime time.
Game time.
If you could, I'm sorry, game time. Look,
just
time after time, okay? The mailman, okay.
There you go.
If you could make one move on this team, what would the one move be?
Derek Brown. I want Derek Brown, defensive tackle. I want another. I think we need a little help in the run game, stopping the run game. All you Tristan Hill fans, he just doesn't do it for me. He's just not very good in stopping the run. I'm not saying get rid of him, but he plays too much for my liking. And it seems like when we have to pull out Gallimore and Bohannon, we lose a little
Gallimore bit. They had him inactive yesterday.
Yeah, why was that?
I don't know. For Tristan Hill, I don't know. But he was inactive, and he was fully healthy. He was fully healthy. Wow. They made him inactive for Tristan Hill.
I don't understand what's going on there.
I thought for sure. Casey Stewart, what's up, Casey? How are you doing? I thought Gallimore was going to have a great season this year.
Yeah.
But then again, we've got and Carlos Watkins was brought up. But we've got so many damn
Something's
guys.
going on there then.
Yeah.
But I like Derek Brown. That's who I would go with.
If you did that not that the defense hasn't been playing well. I mean,
I just think that's our strength, and we need to stop the run. So let's do that. Let's stop worrying about a receiver. We'll see what James Washington can do. Still got Tolbert in the mix. And Gallup's only going to get stronger
if they ever target him.
Yeah. I'm more concerned with Anthony Brown. What's his deal? Why is he's just having a horrible year?
He had a couple of missed tackles that were bad.
Playing off. Did you see how far he was playing off? That's like, okay, here's 6 yards, here's 7 yards. You're just handing yardage away. Is he that afraid to get beat? I don't understand.
Dak came back too soon. His thumb is still tender.
It's going to be tender.
Yeah. Here's what you have to understand, people. When you're a football player, when you show up at training camp, that's going to be the best shape that you're in. Before, basically, nobody by the end of the season is 100% healthy. It's just who's hurt less. All these hits and things like that, Zeke Elliott saying, hey, my knee's sore, but it's only Monday. You'll get treatment, you'll get shot up, you'll get ice and heat and everything else and stretching and things. But you're never 100%. You're not anywhere close to 100%. So it kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
I remember, Brad Johnson. I think it was Brad Johnson. He was talking about when he got hit in the neck one time real bad, that his grip, he lost gripping power in his hand. And he said basically he only had about 25% of the gripping power to hold on to the football as he's going through and finishing this game. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. And for him, he's probably about 8 years younger than me. And even like 10 years ago, he was having a hard time just being able to get out of bed. His kids would say, "You look worse than Grandpa." And we were talking about a guy that was in his 40s.
Wow.
You know, what the damage that this game puts on your body.
Yeah,
is
it's brutal.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, and people always are talking about how much money they make. I look at it like, would you like to work in, say, an asbestos factory? Right? Because that's a hazardous job. Or, you know, a lumberjack where a tree can fall on your ass.
Yeah.
You know, these are things, you know, that you are risking your life out here. Look at Tua with that seizure he had on the field here.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah. And at any point, the next play could be somebody. The NFL's biggest fear is somebody dies on the field.
There was a couple of plays yesterday I was hold my breath on.
Yesterday, it seemed like there was a lot of bad leg injuries.
Dalton Schultz one, man, looked real bad. You know, it was just one of those weird in between tackle games where, you know, the players were being caught in weird spots. And then the Jordan Lewis one where he actually did get hurt. I didn't really see what happened.
Just the foot went. I love what Elston Subar says. Crazy how sports talkers pick us to lose, but when we win, it's like, oh, it's just the Lions. That's the catch-22 for the Cowboys. That no matter, we can win, but it wasn't a good enough win. Oh, well, Dak didn't throw for 400 yards. He throws for 400 yards. Well, that was garbage time. It doesn't count. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like
frustrating, but I kind of rather have it this way than say how great we are every week and then say, oh, they choked. No, we've been the underdog. Last week was the first week all year that we were the favorite. And now it's funny. You know what the early line is for this upcoming game against the Bears?
We're 10 points favorites, right? 10.5?
We're 10.5 point favorite at 42.5, which means they don't expect a lot of scoring by the Bears.
By the Bears?
Yeah, they don't expect a lot of scoring by the Bears. So I think Dallas is going to start rolling offensively. They're too good not to. I really do. Just don't like what they're doing. I don't like what the offensive coordinator is doing. He thinks he's got Amari Cooper still, or he's got some receiver on the outside that can get open on every play, which I think CD can. I really do. So I think we're going to be fine. I just hope that they can work out a better game plan because I did see McCarthy. He had the chart more. I think he's stepping in more and more. I would like to know for sure. You know, we'll never know what's going on, but it seems like he's calling some plays.
Yeah,
it does.
Well, it seems like since the Tampa Bay game, he got more involved in it. I think he started realizing that shit. This young kid's got my life in his hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Run, Forrest, run, Angelica. I love that.
Run, Forrest.
Yes, he is. I hope that he's a decent game, and I hope his team gets rocked by the Cowboys.
Yep. I got you. Yeah,
Fields, get used to it. Parsons is coming for you.
Yeah, David Montez. I think about football is Dak. The thing about football is Dak's going to relieve a lot of pressure from our defense. Yeah, I do think they need to call some designed runs, and there's nothing wrong with looking at a team's success. Like, look what the Eagles do on 3rd down, 4th and 1. You can't basically stop it. We should start looking at what other teams are doing. Maybe do some read option with Dak, because Dak is a threat to run, and that'll open up things. I think what we're doing now is just not really working. I think we need to get back to some more read option stuff. I mean, they did some yesterday, and that pauses the defense for just a little bit, which is all you need.
Right.
I think we do more of that. Add some 12 personnel. We keep saying it. I think that's the strength of our team. Really, is our tight ends, and our running backs. So, we'll see, Mark. It's like every week it's the same BS. We're holding our breath.
Yep. All right, so the Bears are up 23-14 on the road in Gillette Stadium. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I hope they win. Yeah, give them a win. Yeah, coming in our place. That's fine.
Is it foggy there, or is that fireworks smoke?
I don't know. I know. I'm hurting
looks,
myself.
Yeah, I'm kind of drifting off here too.
We can roll out. I mean, looks like it's fog to me.
Yeah.
The Fog Bowl. Remember the Fog Bowl in Chicago?
That was crazy. You could not see anything.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I was so happy that day.
About the other craziest game was it a game at Pittsburgh where the field was so wet that when the guy punted, the ball literally stuck into the turf, sank into it.
I don't remember that one. Look at this. Ooh, that was a nice catch. Jeez.
Begin to wonder about Bill Belichick.
Yeah, he loves the coach. Man, does he have his work cut out? But he does a lot of it himself. They trade away all their talent because they love their system, but you need talent too. It's almost like they want to win despite themselves. Bailey Zappi.
I'm trying to see if I see it. But I think it was Miami versus the Steelers. But it was crazy because the punt literally half of the ball stuck into the mud.
That's crazy.
Roquan Smith.
This don't look good for New England.
No, it really doesn't. They got the sparkle to change the quarterback, but
Will Smith, Earl Campbell's having walking problems. I'm surprised he could still walk, to be honest with you.
Well, he was pretty much crippled, and he had hip replacement surgery.
And it helped.
And it helped, so I guess
he's in the house, Philadelphia.
Oh, we know he's in the house. He's always in the house.
It looks kind of dull, but I think there's a lot of fog there, Philadelphia. It's like the weather is what's making it look that way.
It is crazy.
Got the wet ball away. Alan Rossum going to let go.
How, I'm old, right? But think about, yes, I know, you're surprised to hear that. But it's crazy how everything is right at your fingertips. Back in my day, we'd have to go to a library and deal with the microfiche and all that shit.
Microfiche.
Okay, but look at this. This is the punt. This is old footage. But look, the football literally stuck.
I gotta see it. Hold on.
You couldn't put it any better.
It literally stuck into the feet. No bounce. Boom. That, it's still amazing. You guys, I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all are some spoiled ass bitches to be able to pull up something that freaking easy at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Y'all should be getting straight A's.
Well, I was late to the YouTube thing. All my kids have been watching YouTube for years. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at YouTube, but you literally can find anything.
Yeah.
You can find anything you want. Just type it in and you'll find somebody doing it. It's just incredible. You can put in a model number of something, whether it's an appliance or something, and you'll get a review on it. It's just impressive. It's good to have it, but yeah, they're so spoiled. We used to have to go to a library, like you said, and remember the old projectors, and it's all on our phones. It's all right here.
Yeah, so we're going to get out of here a little bit here, guys. But this is insane when you look at this. Now, I thought Micah Parsons was slowed down a little bit yesterday. It didn't feel like he had the same push the first half. He still made plays and stuff. That tackle At the goal line.
He's definitely not 100%.
But listen,
it seems like at the end of the game, he gives it just enough to where he gets the plays. But
he's tied for first in sacks. He's first in pressures at 36. He's tied for third with 8 tackles for a loss. Tied for fourth with quarterback hits, 13. And he's tied for fifth with forced fumbles.
Yeah, I think the bye is going to do him wonders.
Oh, jeez. That is just insane. I mean,
yeah, it is. That's impressive.
You definitely looking at LT number 2.
Here we go. You said it. You're going to bring up all the trolls.
He's already got more sacks than LT by 5 in LT's first 2 years. LT had 15 sacks his first 2 seasons combined. Sorry, you got to look at it from that standpoint, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's doing shit that you haven't seen anybody doing since LT.
Absolutely.
Almost intercepted.
Oh, that was another thing. I thought, the broadcast kept saying, "Ooh, I don't think that was an interception." I don't think there was enough to overturn it. I thought Diggs did intercept it.
I think he did too.
He had his arm under the ball. I get what they're saying, but the arm was always under the ball.
Yeah,
and it could be loose all you can
as long as it didn't touch the ground. And I don't think it was a good enough angle that you could see the difference in that.
They're like, I can't believe they didn't review it. I don't think they would have. I don't think they would have won. I mean, I'll be honest. That game's over. I'll call it the way I see it. I thought he intercepted it. So,
Marcus, the only way that Mike wouldn't be is if he doesn't make it through the season.
He needs to get on a roll. I call for 20 sacks. So, yeah, he needs to get his act together. I'm surprised he wasn't credited with a sack yesterday.
Half of one. Another. Well, no, he did get one.
He did because
he got one. He got one yesterday. But he should have gotten a half more, I thought.
Yeah, he had the strip sack, but they didn't give it to him, I thought, right after. I guess they did. So he got 1.5?
No, he got one. I thought he should have gotten a half. Justin Field gets away and... Oh, wow. That was a big play. You got to give him credit on that one.
He played horribly last week, so he's just... I'd like to see him, it's a bounce back at least. I'm getting to the play now. We'll see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting.
No. I don't care. That's fine. At least I can look and
they're trying to do hurry up offense now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh,
they're trying to hurry up and run the play because they weren't sure if that was a good play.
That was a good play. That's what I was getting annoyed at getting to yesterday's game was it seemed like they were dragging. Dak is better with tempo. I'm not saying you got to snap it, but let him get to the line. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I hate when he's in the huddle.
And I think he's better in no huddle.
Yeah, I like it. When he does more up tempo stuff.
Because
I know there's a time and place to huddle. I get it, but
it takes Kellen Moore out the equation. Is what it does.
Yeah, I think you're right. I really do. I think you're right.
All right, I'm going to finish watching this drive, and then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here.
Sounds good. That was a nice catch, though. That was. It was a better catch than it was. It was a good throw because it was in a perfect spot, off to the sideline.
I'm surprised Chicago playing this well.
Yeah.
And let's be clear.
I don't think New England's that good.
It's been a sloppy game all the way around.
I don't think New England's that good.
Yeah. The whole NFL is really turned upside down.
It's a week. Well, you said it. It's a week-to-week league. It really is. There's not many teams like the Eagles that are just putting wins up. Give them credit. They're putting wins up, and I think, what we did with a backup quarterback is probably more impressive, but we don't get enough credit. I mean, a lot of teams would melt in that situation.
We usually
going
melt
to
in
the
that
Rams.
situation.
Come on now, going to the Rams. I don't care. That's a tough game. I don't care that they were banged up.
Mike McCarthy, Coach of the Year. Him and Brian Dybul and
yeah, McCarthy won't get it unless they just run off all their games. Then he'll be in there.
If somehow the Cowboys end up winning the division, he should get it.
You think?
That would be because when you go through having lost your quarterback for 5 games, losing your starting left tackle, dealing with Jerry Jones, going against the greatest team since sliced bread, the Eagles, and keeping all that together?
Yeah.
Come on. I think that would have to be. Because remember, that's a regular season award. That's not playoffs, postseason and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Jason Garrett won it 1 year. Think about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, I could see Daboll getting it over McCarthy if all things are.
If it ends up holding, yeah. But if the Cowboys end up winning the division,
yeah, I think you're right. They wouldn't give it to Daboll if we win a division.
Mm-hmm. Although,
I can see Sirianni getting it, but
yeah, if the Jets continue playing to form like they have been, yeah. That's definitely one of the bigger surprises. That and Russell Wilson in Denver being that bad. I thought Denver had decent wide receivers and stuff, and getting Randy Gregory and all that, you figured, okay, this team's ready to roll. They
got a good defense.
The whole West.
Man, their offense is horrible. I heard a rumor today about Jerry Jeudy coming to Dallas. I'm like, man, every time there's somebody, they always like to bring up Dallas. I like Jerry Jeudy.
You know why?
Don't get me wrong, but
okay, if you're saying Jerry Judy's going to the Jets, who cares?
Yeah, nobody cares.
You say anybody to the Cowboys, what?
Yeah, well, they got me because somebody said, "Oh, I heard Jerry Judy's rumored to be traded to the Cowboys." I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's where somebody said, here's a trade that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
Cowboys are everybody's Super Bowl by Nathan Henry. Yeah, Nathan, unfortunately, that's the fact. We get everybody's A game, at least for a half, until the talent, like yesterday, our talent just kind of took over.
Mm-hmm.
We caught a break without Swift and Amon St. Brown not being in the game outside of the first series. So that was a big time. We give everybody's A game. Everybody wants to beat Dallas. Just like primetime games, they know everybody's watching. With Dallas, they want to beat us. All these teams, get all upset that we get the home game every year on Thanksgiving, and now so much so that the league has made us play on the following Thursday on the road now every year.
How we got Thanksgiving against the Giants and then Christmas Eve against the Eagles?
Yeah, but I mean, they always screw us now. We used to get that 2 weeks. Like we used to be on the road. And then we'd have to come home and play home against Thanksgiving and then home the following week. Now they make sure we play on the road the following Thursday. So we end up playing back-to-back Thursdays, which I believe that's the case, right?
Yeah.
I think we do. I don't know. I'd have to look. But I know we play Tennessee on Thursday. So that's after Christmas, and maybe not. But, anyway. Yeah. We will see.
The schedule makers knew what they were doing because those games are huge games.
I think the Washington game is going to actually mean something, Mark, which is actually kind of cool.
It's going to be kind of cold. I need to get back in touch with them and start figuring out people who, for tickets and things in there too.
I was just thinking, the Eagles may have it locked up so much but I still think if the Giants keep winning, I think it's gonna. It may not mean something. There's a chance that it could mean something. So, which is good. You can. I don't think you're looking forward to tailgating just to tailgate.
Oh,
it'd be
no,
nice if the game went something. I know you'll be there.
I do. But we still need to go to a game in Dallas.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we should. Hopefully, Well, you said it's going to be expensive, but to me, how much more expensive can it be? I'd rather just wait and go to a playoff game at this point.
Ooh,
that's just me.
Well, that is if we have a home playoff game.
Yeah, that's true.
It may not be a home. I mean,
well, the first one should.
Maybe.
But the first week, Eagles will most likely. I know we're way.
And David said, "Can we just focus on this week?" You're right. Let's focus on this.
No, we're going to the playoffs. But if not, I'm going to be pissed. So, in my mind, we're going to the playoffs. But yeah. Okay, Cairo Santos. I haven't seen the kick yet. He's attempting a 50-yard attempt. The snap, the hold, and it's good.
26-14 with 3:50 to go in the third quarter. All right, so good, people. We're going to go ahead and leave you here at this one. The mailman has to deliver tomorrow morning, and I got to get my stuff together for leaving tomorrow to go down and work on the red brick house. But
nice.
Let me say to everybody, I appreciate everybody being here. Not sure why my system keeps crashing on me, but hopefully I'll figure it out soon.